Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video. Today, I'm going to be doing a 2022 Senate election prediction. We are less than a month away from the midterm elections, the 2022 midterm elections. As you all know, as I've mentioned in my previous videos, I have not been uploading relatively, you know, often, and that is just because I've been adjusting to college life. It's been a bit, um, you know, and I swear I will be trying to upload more often. Hopefully, I'll be getting it to once a week and then eventually twice a week, 3 times a week soon. But at the moment, this is what I'm able to do just because of everything that's going on, with me. But let's start off with our safe Democrat states. And actually, before I begin, please make sure to go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're only 17 subscribers away from 600 subscribers. So if you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing to the channel. I really appreciate it. Anyway, now let's get into our safe Democrat states. Safe Democrat states will be California, Hawaii. These are the usual safe Democrat states. However, I'm going to leave Washington out of this. I'm going to leave Ron Wyden in Oregon out of this for now, just because we've seen some interesting polls, especially out of Washington, but obviously New York, Illinois, Vermont, Maryland, with, I believe, Chris Van Hollen or Ben Cardin. I'm not entirely sure who's up for re-election this time. And I'll even include Connecticut as safe Democrat states. That brings them to 43 seats already. But Republicans are going to catch up pretty quickly because they, too, have a lot of safe races. Oklahoma, both of those will be safe. I think that I'm going to include Chuck Grassley as a safe state for Iowa. And just for the sake of things, I will include Missouri in favor of Roy Blunt, a safe state. Chuck Grassley, we've seen some polls with him only of about 10 points in Iowa. That will expand. He'll end up winning by about, I would say, 15 to 20 points. He's pretty popular there. Iowa's been shifting Republican. And I do think that he'll end up doing fairly well there. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put Oregon at this point, actually, in safe Democrat state. But now let's get to likely Democrat races. Likely Democrat, there's only one likely Democrat race. Actually, two. Washington and Colorado. Patty Murray, we've actually seen some surprisingly close polls in that state, but relatively she's been maintaining a strong lead. However, Washington, she's also the top 3 Democrat. You wouldn't expect that to be happening in a state like that for a Democrat like that, but she's only up about relatively in the polls 8 to 9 points. That puts her in the likely category. Colorado, you could argue leaner likely. I'll put it in likely just because it's been trending Democratic, in the past few decades. Ohio will be a likely Republican state. Alaska as well. Whether or not it's ranked choice voting, Kelly Shabaka or Lisa Murkowski will end up winning the state of Alaska. They have a very strange voting system in Alaska. Rather than it being, winner takes all or the plurality, it's basically ranked choice, and it's a complicated system, but people rank who they would prefer most, and it kind of gets deducted from there. And those two would be the likely Democrat states. Republican states will also include the state of Florida with Marco Rubio. I do believe he'll also win by a likely margin in Florida. That brings Republicans to 47 Senate seats. Now let's go to Democrats. I believe Maggie Hassan, whatever you call her by, will win the state of New Hampshire by a lean margin. That's the only lean Democrat state in this scenario in my mind. Let's head to our lean Republican states. I think that, I'm forgetting this guy's name. The guy running, who is the Republican nominee in North Carolina? I made so many videos about him as well. Oh, Ted Budd. I don't even need to search it up. See, I know who he is. Ted Budd will win North Carolina by a lean margin. He's been up in the polls 4 to 5 points relatively. I'll just put that as a lean margin for Ted Budd. Good thing for the Republicans. Pat McCrory did not win. He probably would have made it much closer in North Carolina, given Roy Blunt's retirement. Another establishment candidate I don't think would have helped, and I don't think Republicans would have performed as well. And then in the final lean Republican state will be the state of Wisconsin. The state of Wisconsin, Ron Johnson has been doing well in the polls. He's surprisingly liked there. Most people think that he's not, but he is. He has that Rust Belt appeal. He's very popular over there. And he won in 2016 by more than Trump won Wisconsin in 2016. So he does have that Rust Belt appeal and popularity over there. Now let's head into our tilt Democrat states. I do believe still that Pennsylvania will tilt in favor of John Fetterman. John Fetterman has not been, Dr. Oz has simply not been running an effective campaign. John Fetterman, I made a video about this, is a terrible candidate for the Democrats, and Dr. Oz in Pennsylvania is a very winnable race. But if he does not campaign well and his strategies are not well, then he's not going to win the race. As I said, he should be campaigning on Fetterman policies, especially his criminal, his incarceration policies, I think, are very extreme for that state. I think his energy policies, especially on coal and natural gas drilling, are very, unpopular in Pennsylvania. And of course, you can talk about John Fetterman. He's recovering from a stroke, but he's still clearly struggling with his, I don't even know how to put the word, cognition and functioning. And Oz can talk about that, but I'd say focus mostly on the policies and you'll win Pennsylvania. You just have to run a good campaign and you have to be effective. And you can't, act like you're some sort of elite smug TV show host who's a millionaire, which is kind of what Dr. Oz is. But if he wants to win, he does have to have good people counseling him, good people around him. And right now it does not seem like they are because he's not fitting that portrayal. Let's head into our tilt Republican state. I believe that Nevada will tilt Republican. Adam Laxalt was the former AG of Nevada. He's been performing well there in the polls against Catherine Cortez Masto. I think he's going to end up narrowly winning that. So he'll kind of be replacing Dean Heller, although, with that one Republican seat, Dean Heller used to have it, and then there would be a Democrat. Adam Laxalt will replace it there, and he's more of actually a right-wing Republican when you think about it. Now we head to the states of Arizona and Georgia. I believe that there's going to be some interesting calls. I believe that Raphael Warnock will narrowly beat Herschel Walker in Georgia at this point in time. Warnock has been running an effective campaign. When you look at the polls, Brian Kemp is beating Stacey Abrams while by a much larger margin than the race between Walker and Warnock. Walker and Warnock are much more competitive. You've seen some polls with Walker up, some polls with Warner up. Not Warner. Raphael Warner. Yes, Warner. I do think Warner will end up narrowly edging it out. Georgia's been trending to the left, although it's a red wave election year. I still believe that whatever his name is, I keep forgetting it. Raphael Warnock will end up winning that race. And the biggest upset of the night, I believe, will be with Blake Masters in Arizona. I think that he will win the state of Arizona. That will be the biggest upset of the night. Republicans will get the majority in the Senate, defeating Mark Kelly. Blake Masters is running a very good campaign in Arizona. People say he's more right-wing, and that's not going to be good for him in the state. I disagree. I think that he still has a very solid shot at winning. Polls have shown that it's very competitive in Arizona, and I just think that he is a very effective politician. He did very well at the debate against Mark Kelly a few days ago, and I think that he'll win that race. But anyway, that is really all that I have for you today. 51 Republicans to 49 Democrats. They narrowly retake the Senate. Where the Democrats settle for 2 years, Republicans will get it back. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, like the video below. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on this election prediction, what you would keep the same, what you would change, and all of that. So anyway, thank you for watching, and have a great day. See you soon.